Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for waiting. Apologies for last week. I was out of town. We couldn't be here, but we're going to do it today. Guys, don't forget, if you're here, give the stream a like, subscribe if you're not already, share this video if you want, or this stream or what have you. If there's somebody you know that this may help out. All right, guys, I got a few notes here we're going to go through real quick. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the tattoo challenge emails. I'm super excited. It's been a couple of weeks now, and I think we got about 10, 12 submissions, so it should be really cool. So stick around for that. We're going to do that first and foremost. Then after that, we're going to jump in and check out the work that you guys have sent in since we've been live to the artmesomething@gmail.com. So we have that coming up. Also, we have the new video coming out on Tuesday where I reviewed the Emella carts. And just for you 20-some people who are here right now, these have got to be like my new favorite needles. As far as they're not quite as budget friendly, but they're phenomenal needles. I'm really liking them. What else do I have here? And a little side note is I've gotten a lot of people hitting me up. They want to know where I'm located, geographically, not exactly. I'm in northeastern Ohio. So if you're trying to book an appointment, you kind of have a general idea where I'm at. I know some people, that's a long way away. So nonetheless, just want to put that out there right now. And if you do want to book an appointment, DM my IG or Facebook. Okay. Only because a few people have been hitting me up about that. All right, so real quick before we got Andy standing by, but before we do that, I do want to just quickly pull up the thumbnail today. We got to talk about the thumbnail, and here we go. So what happened here? What the heck happened here? In my opinion, like, I dislike this photo, but at the same time, it's almost like a mess, a cool mess, but they didn't hit the mark here, okay? I don't do color portraits because I'm not good at skin tone and figuring that stuff out. And if you make mistakes and you're not prepared, then you're going to end up with something like this where the nose is like smashed and things just look a little off. So again, usually the thumbnail is a product of people trying to do stuff outside of the realm of comfort or trying to push things too far. I think it's important to push yourself, but sometimes we push ourselves too far too quick. I think that's what happened here. Let me know in the comments below what happened on this thumbnail. Also, if you're in the chat, feel free to let me know as well. So the thumbnail is out of the way. We discussed briefly why that was the thumbnail, why it was up there. Guys, welcome, Andy. Welcome, Andy.
Oh, hey up there. I'm back. One minute. Caught me puffing away there.
Right.
We're back.
Oh, shoot.
You told me you didn't come on last week because you'd washed your beard and your hair straighteners weren't working, so you weren't coming on with a frizzy beard. Never mind out of town.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. No, that's the truth, though. I couldn't find my blow dryer, so I was like, I can't do it. I can't go on. The beard's everywhere. Yeah. Oh, shoot. No, thanks for everybody for hanging out and let me be for a week there. Had to take care of some stuff out of town, but it all went well, and we're back this week, and we got some cool stuff. I have not taken a look at any of the emails submitted for the tattoo challenge. I've been anxiously waiting. I'm pretty sure the boss, aka my wife, is watching because she is super curious to see how these tattoos turned out as well. So apparently something up with my camera and this setup. It won't stream my face perfectly because I have to upgrade this or whatever. I'm not going to do it. So you got anything, Andy? Actually, yeah, let me pull something up real quick, Andy, so that
what we got,
people know where to follow you at.
Oh, yeah. I'm down there somewhere. I'm lurking around.
Right. Okay, let's go check out the chat real quick. Guys, we are going to be jumping in just a couple minutes, but we usually spend about 5 to 10 minutes right off the bat saying hello, hitting you guys up in the chat. If you're watching and you're not in the chat, jump in the chat. There's like some really good people in here that you can talk to, get to know each other, follow each other. And we're trying to build community here that helps each other out. We kind of can figure out, hey, what's good, what's not, how we can help people out. Also, stay tuned. We're going to be launching another thing here where we're going to do stuff like this, only behind like a wall, if you will. So it'll be the people who want to be there. So if you're a little bit nervous about showing your stuff to the whole world, this place will be a better place for you because it's only the people who want to be there, truly want to be there, will be there. And we can give a little bit more attention, if you will. And there's gonna be other stuff mixed in there, but I'm working on that. So just dropping little crumbs here and there as we build up to that. Okay. Hey, we got Ramos jumping into the chat. Right on, man. Jump into the chat. Don't be afraid to get into the chat and talk to people. Hello, Danik, Michael, Infinity, Darren, Smoke, Pluto's World. Awesome, guys. Thanks for everybody for being here all over the place. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let them know in the chat as well, because other people might be sitting behind their laptop or phone, be like, oh, sweet, somebody else from Scotland or Germany or wherever you're from. And it's always cool. So I think I'm almost done running my mouth here. What's up, big dog? All right. Are you guys ready to take a look at some emails? Are we ready? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's get some Chesterfield, UK. Brian, what's going on, man? All right. Louisiana. Sweet. Okay, guys. All right. Here we go. We got the emails. I'm excited. I'm ready to kick this thing off. Watching from Sacramento, California. Tijuana, Mexico. Right on. I could sit here and read where everyone's from forever because I just think it's cool that the internet's mind-blowing to me that people from all over the world can all do a thing and be in one place. So anyhow, all right, here we go, guys. We're going to start off. I started the first one from September 6th, so I knew where to start from. It is Jose Chavez. You are the first one up. Guys, don't forget to give the stream a like, share the video. Here we go. Hi, thanks for taking the time to critique us. Really helps. Any advice is so much appreciated. Sent from iPhone. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's get up closer to this one. Yeah. Just a quick look at this. I look at line consistency and then like straightness of lines. And I will say what bounces. What jumps out the most is most of these, the lining in this fake skin has consistent lines, right? They're not all symmetrical. They're not all perfect. But for the most part, the line weight is consistent, which is a good thing. It's bad. It's rough when you have rough lines, shaky lines, and super inconsistent lines. At least the thickness and the density of these lines are pretty consistent. However, I think where we fall short is, just in the little ones, the little details throughout, things being circular and whatnot. But at least you kind of did a pretty good job here of hitting the big stuff. Your shading is still what I would consider early on in a lot of ways. You're still getting used to that motion and whatnot. And it looks a little rushed, but it can look that way when you're learning in the beginning. And also, Andy, I think they're working with a cheap fake skin. As you can see, they're having a hard time getting it clean. They need some baby oil in their life.
Baby oil on it. That's it. Use baby oil and clean it off. No problem. Like you said, first look, doesn't look too bad. Line saturation looks to be even. Again, where you say there's a few little shakes and a few little wobbles in the lines. It's not helping them having the super cheap fake skin. On this, especially for the shading, you're going to struggle like nobody's business. But the shading is very choppy. They need, like you said, it's very early on in the look of it. They need to smoothen it out, learn how to blend it out and soften it out as it goes. But on the whole, stayed true to the design.
Yeah.
If you get in, I mean, there's some of the lines. They're not horrible. They're not horrible by any means. I think this person would also benefit from some better fake skin. I think it would show the work better. But they're getting there.
Yeah.
They're getting there with this.
I think the shading was put. What I do appreciate though is maybe the shading's not done perfectly, but I think it was put in the right spots where there would be a shadow and the way it would, you know what I mean? Looking at it, like, yeah, there would probably be a little shadow underneath here. There would probably be as it curls around behind the heart in this portion of the handle and whatnot. I think it's just going to come down to technique, if you will, and practice and getting a better fake skin. But
Yeah.
it's a good first one. It's a good first one to check out.
It's a good first one. Like I say,
Yeah.
and it's a good attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the line work makes it on this one. Albeit that, like we've said, it's not 100% smooth. It has got some wiggles in it. It has got some wobbles in it. And there's a few things that are, shall we say, symmetrical, e.g. parallel or perfectly round. But the consistency, the line consistency is good.
Pretty consistent for sure. Yeah. Nice job. And I hope that you hear what we're saying. And but again, I think a good fake skin will help you out a little bit more because it's looking pretty decent on that rough stuff. So nice. And this is a tough one. This is a tough challenge in my opinion, especially for maybe just getting into it, because there are a lot of lines, a lot of straight lines, curved lines. So it is a tricky one. So anybody who takes it on, I think it's cool that you are doing that. So this is from Lisa Bowman. Hey Dave, my name is Lisa. I have been learning to tattoo for almost 2 months, and thanks to your videos and many others on YouTube, I've been able to learn so much in that time. I'm a bit of an artist, but learning to tattoo is a whole new set of skills and techniques. Absolutely. This is my 4th try at color, and I'm still learning how to blend different colors smoothly. I was intimidated by all the lines, right?
Yeah,
that's what it turned out to be a fun challenge. That's really cool, guys. If you did do this challenge, let me know in the chat or in the comments below how it went for you. Was it a good challenge? Was it, I hated it, but I like the fact that maybe I improved overall? Let me know. I'm still a bit wobbly with lines, but I'm guessing improvement will come with practice. Don't be afraid to tear it apart and let me know what you think. Just want to say thank you again for all the time you guys spend making videos and critiquing others' work. You are helping so many people, including me. Awesome. And they used the Math Flip rotary pen, WJX cartridges, ink is internal and world famous, fake skin is real skin. All right. So we got the line work here. Okay.
Looking a little bit light on the line work.
Yeah, which means we're probably moving too fast. Or
yeah.
Occasionally the needles might need to get pushed out a little bit more. Maybe they're not getting proper penetration. But overall,
some of the lines are fairly smooth, but not saturated properly. Some of the lines are a little bit choppy, but like I said, the main thing is there's not very good saturation, and this is on fake skin. If this was on real skin, as it healed, a lot of it would have fallen out. It would heal out. It wouldn't be there. You can just tell by how transparent the lines are looking through. Basically, if you look at the lines looking through, you can virtually see the skin, the fake skin, still behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, that's something that they're either running too fast, or they're running the hand too fast with the machine too slow, or vice versa. That's something where they just get a piece of practice fake skin and just practice some different speeds, different needles, different speeds, different hand speeds, just pulling a few straight lines to find out what works best for you.
Absolutely. And I will say though, it had these lines just been denser, and meaning, like Andy said, more in the skin, if you will, it would have been more black, obviously, and it would have looked far more solid because there is a lot good going on here. And then I see where we went over a couple lines, maybe to try to, thicken them up. And, you get like a double line because you didn't quite nail the same spot as the first one. But just take your time, like Andy said, and work that out. You have this fake skin. This in and of itself is its own practice, so that's cool. But they did add color, Andy, so let's see what we got. Oh, Okay. A
Okay.
lot of color going on in here. I like how what they did with this like gem up here, and they added these, and they used to make it kind of have that gold look. I like the color palette.
I like the color palette. The only part of the color palette, the only part of the color palette, or should I say, two parts of the color palette I don't like.
Yeah.
One is the leaves.
Right.
I understand they've used green, they've used blue. That's their choice. But green with a light green, or green with a yellow, or green with a red would have worked better than with a blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually, you can put a couple of greens in with a red tip, or a couple of greens and use a golden yellow, or just a couple of greens. That probably works for me a little bit better.
Right.
The bottom part of the heart is a little bit dark.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was noticing too, Andy.
Yeah.
I just wish they would refrain, just pulled back a little bit down there.
How they've pulled off the golden colour around it and the jewel round the top of the dagger, I do like. And
Yeah.
that they've got that really, really nice little bit of black mottled shading just between under the jewel, the black mottled shading just under the jewel to the heart in the dagger's blade. That's a really nice effect.
Yeah.
Like a speckled effect.
Right.
They've got a really nice effect.
Saturation looks good too.
Yes, saturation looks good.
I like the eye here. I do kind of like the little bit of redding they put in here as well. Really kind of sells the look. I like this tattoo. I like the way it was colored in. And I think it would be cool if you wanted to do it again and just maybe try a little less dark down here. You know, you could always redo another tattoo a few times. You got plenty of practice with lines and just watch yourself improve by doing the whole thing again. It's a lot of time, but the only way you're going to get good at anything is to do it over and over and repetition, practice constantly. People like to say, oh, someone's talented or boy, it was really gifted, right? No, people work really hard to get that stuff, no matter what it is. So don't be afraid to do it again. Put the work in, you know.
Brighten them. If you brighten them leaves up and get them on a brighter green with a bit of yellow, it'll pull them leaves out. You know, and make them stand out a little bit more with this one.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's nice, and I do like the color palette, and I do like the finished look. There is problems with the line work, like we have said. The actual finished overall look, if it was executed correctly, it would be a really good sound.
Yeah, I would love to somebody to ask me to do this in the same color palette. I would do it a little different and just a little crisper and whatnot. I think that would. But nice job. I hope you heard what we had to say there throughout the conversation, and nice. And it obviously has its downfalls, but let's see what do we got here, Andy. This is from Todd. He says, "Hey guys, here's my progress thus far. Had to stop. My back was killing me. Cards used were 7-round shader, 7-round liner, 3-round liner, all number 12, standard 0.35 diameter. I'll try to finish it up for next week. I included the stencil, used real skin. Peace, Todd." All right, so this is the stencil, I believe, or
pretty crispy stencil.
Yeah, that's nicely put on stencil, man. Very nice. Let's check out. Hey.
Solid lines.
I like this. This is crispy. Let's go all the way up. Yeah, this is crispy throughout. I like it.
I mean, you go right to the top there. Go to the top of hilt at handle. And just look at them little flukes. The over top,
the spacing,
all the curves are nice. The spacing between them.
Yeah.
But and then you move. All the curves up. You look at the leaves, how nice and smooth the outside lines are as they come together. He's even got the little bits of curves off the veins on the ribs of the leaves. His telltale sign on this one would probably be if you scroll down a bit. I don't know whether you can zoom in any further.
Yes, I can. Oh, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
The little circles under the jewels.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty damn circular.
Yes, they are. And if you were to color that in with just a dot of white, that would pop a lot.
And you look at that set of parallel lines coming down the middle of the blade, it's tidy.
Yeah.
You know, and it is very, very well saturated.
Yes.
It's really smooth, really well executed. Is this?
Yeah, I
This
would
is
love to see it colored in. I
see,
hope
yeah,
we see that. Because he said he was gonna submit the color, maybe finish it next week, but it's been 2 weeks, so hopefully
yeah,
we've got another email from him. Um, Todd, awesome job, man. Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you. It looks really good, man.
It's really good. It's clean. It's crispy. It's saturated. It's
And
in
this is
there.
what we were talking about when looking at the last piece that, line consistency, they were it was kind of, this is what you wanted, that depth, that richness in the lines. And yep. All right. Sweet, 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 sweet. All right. Next up is Terry. All right. Let's see. Evening, guys. Cockney Tez here. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Finally got my real skin and it's amazing, but had to adjust the way I did things from the cheap stuff. That's probably the truth.
Yep.
Loved this last challenge, although I had some issues getting white to stay in. Okay. It's not perfect, but I can see a positive progression using real skin. Hope you guys are okay. Yeah, you're probably going to notice a huge difference by using a good quality fake skin. And yeah, and progression is what it's all about. If you see
Yep.
progress, even though overall it's not what you want it to be, that's a good thing. All right. Okay. Well, I think let's just look it over for a moment here. Huh.
Yeah, there's a few things got away from
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
e.g.,
The eye's a
that,
little off here completely down here though. This is one of the
yeah,
it's not really coming
you've.
across as eyelidish or eyeball
I'm
to me.
also, yeah, and
Go
I'm
ahead.
also wondering if, yes, they're stenciling these on. That's fine, the stenciling on. But do they have a printed copy? And I don't know about you, Dave. Even when I'm
Yeah.
lining, I'll have a printed copy of the stencil at the side of me,
Right.
just in case. You've
Yup.
got reference. You need reference so that you should be able to look at the piece that you're doing. Look at your reference for your stencil. Look at your piece. Is that symmetrical? Does that curve? Yes, I need to make sure that curves. I need to make sure them leaves come round like that and come in. Now, by no, it has got some faults. There's a couple of lines that don't meet. That that there's a couple of lines that overshoot at the ends.
Yeah.
At the top, we've got a couple of lines that overshoot. At the top of the handle as it goes up on either side.
That and some things are different too. I'm sorry, this is over here. I can't see it now, but at the top, it was actually an oval, and now we have a circle. Some things were actually changed, and that could be like you were saying, Andy. Maybe the stencil was rough and the reference wasn't there, and just kind of like put it together the best they could. Yeah, and so if we just even look at the lining here, the red actually looks pretty saturated, so that's cool. But when we look at, and we got a little bit of stippling going on here, which doesn't look too bad either.
No.
But the lining is actually pretty rough here. I mean, it's not horrible, but
Yeah.
it's not what you want it to be. It's okay because you're still on fake skin. If this were on real skin, it would be a little bit harsher. But again, you don't have the density like we were talking about before. The last person had that nice, dense, crisp lines. And some of them you have them, but overall it's not. Here, the red is actually making this line work because I don't even really see the black in this, right? I know you went over top of it, but we're missing the line here. Over here we have a bit more line, but over here we don't. These circles definitely got away from you. As we move up here, this looks a bit different from the reference as well.
Yeah, I'm mainly looking at the lines not punched in. They need to be punched in.
Yeah.
Your line weight needs to be a bit more consistent, as you can see. Some are in, some are fatter. I mean, with this design, you could have got away with using the 11 round liners, 9 round shaders, and a 5 or a 7 round liner to do most of it. Because of the design, it's as it is. I mean, Tez, you've just put in comment you're running out of space. No problem, pal. But what I'd have done is, if that had been if that had been it, and I'd have put it on, and I think it's a bit too big, shrink your stencil down a little bit.
Yeah.
Do it a bit smaller. Nobody's saying that you've got to do. Nobody's saying with these that you've got to do it A4 size or A5 size. If you want to do it only 4 or 5 inches tall, but can still make it work, that's fine. But
yeah,
I'm more bothered about the consistency through this.
And this real skin brand, it's not realistic. It's not like true real skin, obviously. But I do remember tattooing, and it does vibrate. It does bounce a little bit. So, if you're not, you're also going to give you that sort of, your needle's not going to get a good penetration. So also what you really want to do is you don't necessarily have to stretch it, but definitely put your hand and control that fake skin, preventing it from bouncing around as well. But I hope this was good practice for you. I'm sure it was. Man. And that's what these are about. It's like, hey, try this out, see how it works. You do, and you're like, wow, I see some good stuff I did there. Because only you know where you're truly at. So you see the good. We're showing you from more of a professional-ish standpoint, like, hey, these are some things you need to work on. But feel free to try it again. This is a good one for lining. You can't really hide poor lines in this design here. You can a little bit, but definitely going to notice it. So thank you, man. Thank you for sending that in, letting us check it out, taking the time to make it, and for being here in the chat, man. Appreciate you. Next one up is Victor. Victor. Let's see. He says, I'm Victor, and 4 months into the tattoo game so far. Learned so freaking much from your videos and critiques. Lots of love from Germany, and keep up the amazing engagement. Always happy to draw knowledge out of your content. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad. And 4 months in, it's not super long amount of time. So it's cool to see what you've got going on. Whoa,
we got Stitch.
We didn't see Stitch coming. That's cool. Yeah. Ooh, I like this a lot.
This is clean.
It is clean. I
4 months
really
in,
like it.
4 months in, it's clean. There's a couple of little wobbles here and there. Saturation's good. Could have been saturated a little better on the fatter diamond line, but we don't know whether this is a decent skin or a cheaper skin.
It's like a mid-grade. I can tell by the cutout here. It's decent. It's not the greatest.
But somebody's, for 4 months in, somebody's really getting the head round that shading. I love the graininess. It's got a consistent graininess. So it's done by choice because it's consistent. You can see that this person's done it by choice because it's consistent all the way through this tattoo. It's not just a case he's done it. But this is, for 4 months in, this person's doing really well.
Yeah, it was cool to catch a Stitch here. Yeah. And I guess, guys, feel free to pick whichever ones you want. Yeah. If we move on and there's one you want to do and you want to submit it later, you always can. That's cool. I guess I never thought about that.
As long as it's one of the tattoo, shall we say, challenge pieces.
That's it. So if you want to go back and do a Stitch, feel free to do it. And if you want us to check it out, you got to guarantee we're going to look at them and critique it. Yeah. So, of course, when you send it to the other email for the regular critiques, when we're done with this, we only go for however much time we have left. So sometimes we don't get to everybody, blah, blah, blah. At least this way you can send it in anytime if it's a challenge to this email address. So, yeah, very cool. I don't really have much to say. The lighting, even in the diamonds, are pretty decent around here. Sure, we could have, whatever.
Just sculpted. It could have just, bottom of that fat diamond, it could just sculpted a little bit more in.
But like you said, Andy, like that consistency of the stippling or the shading, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Good machine control, hand control, tone.
And like you say, you can see that he's done it on purpose because it's consistent throughout the tattoo.
Right. And I think there's another one here, Andy. Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
we shouldn't be really looking at that one, not on tattoo critique.
Oh, that's right. Hey, they snuck that one in there. You do.
Yeah, they snuck that in. We can't look at that.
Keep us straight.
Yeah.
This was cool though.
Yeah.
Nice job. Very nice. All right. Next up is Robert. Oh, go ahead, Andy.
And you just missed one. Is it Chris Beecham?
But it doesn't show that anything's there. See?
All right. I've got you.
Yeah, only the ones that have like the little thingy bopper on them. Let me read this though, just to see if let him know. We'll start over because I'm not happy with it. Just so you know, I didn't. There's no images here, Chris. If you want to send that again to this email, we'll be able to check it out. But there was nothing there. So let's see. Next, we got Robert E. Again, it needs more work, but I hope it's critiqueable. LOL. Don't know what that means, but we're gonna critique it. We're gonna take a look at it. Let's take a look. All right, starting from the bottom, I'll do a slow. Oh God, we got too far in. All right, right here. We'll do a slow movement up. Just soak it all in here. Okay. Okay. Well, Andy, I see some good stuff and
I see some good stuff and some not so good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unfortunately, if we start with the not so good stuff,
yeah.
There's some lines. He's either done a double pass and it's not been consistent back over the line. Some of the line work is not in there properly. You can see how it's light.
Yep.
But then again, let's be a bit positive here. Some of the lines that he has got in and he has nailed them in. It's like the very bottom of the dagger, Dave.
Sure.
When it comes to the
this
V,
one's really nice right here.
For two lines, they have got a tiny little bit of a wobble, but everybody gets a little bit on them.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a wobble on them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty good, at the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
The leaves, the shapes of the leaves, it's kept the shapes of the leaves. Nice. I like. Now, believe it or not, how he's done the ribs on the leaves, where it starts off dark and whips out lighter. Fades out, you can get away with that. Because it's an organic. He's tried. I do like how what's meant to be pointy is pointy. It's got a sharp point on it.
Yeah.
On this one.
But you know what falls for me though, Andy, though, on this one, it's the color. It has that sort of crayon look where it's not like fully saturated. So it kind of looks like after the fact it was like done with a crayon. And I also want to just talk about the shading around here as well. I'm not sure what happened here. I'm not sure. It just has, again, kind of like that, just like a dirty look, not really like shaded or consistent of any kind. I don't know if it was just, you're just kind of dabbling with it and trying to figure it out in this piece. That could very well be. But you see that really extreme in this heart here. And then as you come up here, I do like this shading up here a little bit more. At least it reads a little bit better. In here as well, I think you nail. I do actually like the green in here though. I was talking about the colors, but I think these work. And then what really your eye's drawn to, it's unfortunate because there are some downfalls here, and we're talking about those, some good things. But what my eye immediately goes to is this really thick line right here. Boom. Which, it could have been you trying to fix a line, and then this one down here. And then you have a thinner line, and thinner line. So I don't know, my eyes just kind of drawn to that, and it's throwing it off as a whole. But it seems to get a little bit better up in here. It's not great, but it does seem to get better versus here seems to be most of the problem.
He's kept his parallel line. His parallel lines down the top half of the dagger for me. He's kept them pretty well. The two little, just a bit further, the two little scallops that come round like that and cut in, they're quite nicely done actually.
Yeah, they are.
Either side. He's lost it on the little circles under the gem.
Yeah, I think they got a little away from him there.
But I'm not right sure, and I think this is the first one. I could be wrong here, and I could be talking crap. It's the first one that he's kept the 8 in it.
Yeah, I noticed that. In fact, I was like, oh, he put an 8 in there. I don't even remember.
It's in your design.
Yeah, I didn't even. It's been a while since I looked at it, other than what I'm looking at now. And without the design right there, it's forgetful.
It's kept the top of the handle. It's kept the shapes and the overall shape of it.
Yeah, it's like it really did improve as it went up, though.
Yeah, it's just the line weight and saturation problem with this one.
Yeah.
Shading, we don't know whether they're dabbling, whether they haven't finished it and they've just sent it in and they was going to go back and do some shading.
Sure.
They've got to this point and they've got a bit of a block as to where to go and how to shade it. Basically, and just waiting for us to say something, then going to go away and then give it a go. But I think it would have probably, for me, like I say, if you're putting that red in there in the drips, instead of using the black to shade, maybe just shaded it with red.
True.
And done it that way.
Just messaging Smoke there. Yeah, overall, I think this is the kind of piece where you can look at and go, as a person doing it, and say, you know what? I see things that I did well here, and I see things that I didn't do well. Then you take all that, and when you move to the next piece you work on, you just compile upon it. You're going to take losses, you're going to have wins, and eventually you do it enough times, the losses start to go down and the wins start to go up, and you start to get more comfortable. And that's what the fake skin is all about. Is it like real skin? No, it's not exactly like true human skin, but you can work out a lot of stuff on fake skin before you get to real skin. One of those being, just my quick little tangent here, is when you're trying to figure out how to get those lines to be crisp and to be dense. And you're on the fake skin, and you're like, man, well, it's not happening. So you're dabbling, you're throwing your needles out, you're adjusting your speeds, and you're figuring it out. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. This is the speed I need to be at. This is, oh, okay. And then you move to a different fake skin or something else. And what you're doing is you're learning to adjust your equipment for the situation. And you're going to do that in real life when you're on human skin as well. You're going to tattoo and you go, oh, that line didn't go in there. But you know, well, I should probably need to slow down because I did that when I was on fake skin, or I need to throw my needles out a little bit more, or that's too deep. I need to pull them back. So you learn this stuff. You learn your equipment. You learn how to do it all on fake skin. And I think that's part of the really important part of you working with fake skin. So tangent over. And moving on. Next up is
Victor.
Victor. I'm going to scroll down real quick, see if Victor. Oh, wait. That's the same guy. Hey, we already looked at that one. Oh, okay.
It's always done that.
Oh, this is some cheap fake skin, Victor. I can see through. Look, we can see through it. To get this kind of a, and I haven't even really gone close on it, but to get this, what I'm looking at right now on this fake skin, just like slow baby clap for you, my friend. Applaud you. I would rather bounce my head off a wall than work with this fake skin. But you achieved something quite. Look at the detail in the eye.
Yeah, he's put veins in, and look at that.
Out, man.
Underneath that bottom of the heart where he's put it in, that soft, that shading on the where it comes and it's soft and it just peppers out.
Yeah.
It's nice. Even up the sides of the eye, it's shaded where it just softens, it's just peppered out onto ends and just gives it that soft feeling. But it's like you say, look at the detail on there where it's put the veins in, then he's done that little bit of red shading and that's peppered out. That's nice. And like I say, he's using some nasty ass skin.
Yeah, this is like the worst fake skin ever. So to achieve such nice, smooth stuff on this skin, it's really cool to see. It's cool to see. Nice job. You know, I'm not even gonna talk about any of the lining because 99% of it is like perfect. So I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
we could find imperfections in any one of my tattoos ever, always, and for always. So I'm not going to do that here. Really nice job. We can probably agree upon that there, Andy, huh?
Yeah. Like you say, it's nice. Really nice. It's got some slick. It's got some nice slick shading.
Wow, sorry, I heard something really loud. Holy cow. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Sorry about that. Yeah, all right. Sweet. Dude, Victor, thanks, man. Thanks for sending that in. So we got to see the stitch in that one. Very nice. Victor, if you get yourself some of that fake skin, hang on one more second. Can we go over here and see what did he tattoo this on? Okay, so he did get a better fake skin for this one, it looks like. A little bit better. But that one, man. Wow, you can see he started it too. and probably the stencil went out or he just wasn't feeling it and did it again right here. So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. I'm done on that one. Thank you. Next up is Torrance. Let's see. Torrance says, I think I was a little overzealous on shading. Still need a bit of work on lining and didn't finish the whole thing. Hence the partial picture. Okay. All right. Okay. So we didn't get the top, but let's zoom in. Let's get, I don't want to zoom too far, but let's about right here and do a slow little walk through here, soaking this sucker in. Wow. I like this.
He says he's got over. He says he's got overzealous with shading. That bit of whip shading, that black whip shading, and that's it. There's a couple of places, yes. Now, for me, where he's gone a little bit dark is in the bit of the blade from under the small circles to the top of eye. It just, I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of shading there for what it is. But that heart and the eye, and round there, I actually like it. I actually like it. Now, and if you look at his gem, you can just see his gem, how he shaded that out. He's done actually quite a nice job of segmenting it up and shading it out.
Really smartly done. Minimal, but it really does the job.
Yeah.
I think he's even put some white in here. I could be wrong, but it looks like there might be a little white, or that's just well-kept open skin around darkness that gives the effect of, maybe a lighter spot.
There's a couple, a little bit of, there is some lining issue, especially in the lower leaves. If you scroll down for leaf, yeah. I mean,
he's using what appears to be like maybe a round shader, and it's just kind of coming out of the skin there at the end, and not pulling it all the way through. Yeah, nice job though. I mean, line consistency, it's a thicker line weight, but it's bolder. The way he shaded it matches the line weight, in my opinion.
It's
cool.
Like I say, and round the eye and everything, his curves are smooth, pretty even, and everything. So, I mean, it's not a total bust. It's not a total bust. Well, especially when he made it out in his. Where he made it out in his email, it's not a total bust.
No, he was. I got overzealous with my shading. I don't know that you did. I mean, maybe a little down here, but I personally like it. And for me to say you did or didn't, I think it's just going to come down to personal preference. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's a technical thing. Technically, I love how consistent your whip shading is. Love to see it finished. If you finish it, send it back in. Love to take a look at it, man.
Yeah.
But cool stuff. But it's fun seeing all the different, line weights and different things people are doing. That tattoo is decent for sure. The gem looks really nice.
Some really good positive feedback.
If it's that bad. What? Okay. Everyone seems to like it a lot, and that's really cool.
Boss Lady's keeping an eye on you.
Oh, is she? I like this one. Looks really nice. Okay, so the Boss Lady is a fan of this particular one. Me too. Very nice. Excuse me. Okay, next up, I should ask the Boss Lady, how's the stunts? She's working on a tattoo, tomorrow's tattoo. I think it's almost done. Let's see. Tattoo challenge. Robert.
You're a fraud. You've got your wife doing your tattoos, doing your designs for you.
Yeah, we've already worked on it, finalizing it really. But some people, I will have clients that work with both of us, clients that work with her. So sometimes they know like she's tapped into the more girly stuff, so they will just go straight to the source. Vice playing telephone with me.
I can't believe that she's actually still doing your designs for you. And you know what's coming, don't you? She's doing your designs. She's still doing them. She reads your messages, and you haven't honoured the steak and lobster. That is bang out of order.
But you know what, Andy? We had steak the other day, and we had we have lobster in the freezer. But no, I thought it was lobster. I couldn't find it. It's crab. So, but we did have lobster. We did have steaks. I mean, we're moving in the right direction here, guys. Let's like in tattooing, okay?
Who cooked them?
See an improvement.
Who cooked them?
You know, I don't have a good memory, Andy. It's hard. It's a little bit. Who
Yep.
put who?
Yeah.
I see
The
what's
wife.
happening here.
Yeah.
Andy, back to why we were here. I told her, I was like, when we do find the time and eventually go find the right steak and lobster joint, a joint that sells good steak, good lobster, I have to like videotape some of it or photograph it because no one's gonna
Yep.
believe it. And she'll just keep
Nope.
saying he hasn't done it, and then so I have to get proof. It's coming eventually. Hello, my name is Rob. I bought my first tattoo, a first machine 9 months ago, a cheap Dragon Hawk. I upgraded to the Bronc V2 wireless after your review / giveaway. Love it. Unfortunately, I only had the cheap fake skin for this challenge. I also had to shrink the image to fit. No problem.
No
Therefore, I used a
problem.
3-round liner, 3-round shader. Thank you for all you have done. Awesome, man. I do feel for you on this fake skin you're using. So
Yep.
let's see what we got. Hey, let me jump over to this one real quick to see if okay, so that's a zoomed in per version. So we got the stencil here.
But this is what I'm saying. He's got his stencil. He's showing it. Yes, he's showing it that it's smaller, but it looks like he's had his stencil. He's had a picture of his stencil at the side of him as well. At the side of him as well while they're doing it.
Yeah, and that's extremely important to have this out. Yes, your ears were burning up there. Huh?
Oh, I was laughing my ass off. Oh my god. Boy saying, Mom, are you okay?
I knew she was dying, and she was over there like you secretly messaging Andy like he still hasn't given me.
No, I'm doing it on there.
I know, I saw you over there.
No, I just got to make it public.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, so here we go. It's a closer look at it, and considering again this type of skin he's using too, it's a very, very cheap fake skin.
Yeah.
I think the lining is pretty solid considering again the fake skin. Well, I wouldn't say it's solid, but it is not bad. It's pretty somewhat smooth, consistent.
For this cheap fake skin,
Ugh,
and I'll vouch for it. It's good. What I do like is the way from the other one. I do like how he's done the whip shading underneath the jewel in the top part of the dagger. I would just like to have seen it a little bit darker around the tiny little circles whipped out. But that's nice.
I think this was supposed to meant to be black back here. Maybe it's having a hard time getting that in there, or maybe it would be a lighter shade. I'm not sure. The stippling looks pretty consistent. I think this one could just use some solid black, really.
I think this one could benefit from some decent fake skin.
Yeah, that too for sure.
Some decent fake skin, and just spend a little bit of time with that fake skin, working out your hand speed, your voltage to get for a couple of different needle sizes, just to see what works out for full saturation.
Right.
And I think they'll be cracking on with it.
Yeah, good to see what they're doing. I think they're 9 months. They got some poor fake skin here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. We got a little bit of color. I guess I would have liked to see some green inside those leaves if you were going to put color. The blue in there, I don't know if it was the right choice, but again, a lot of stuff comes down to personal preference. In this purple, it would have been nice to just kind of like leave an open spot for maybe like a highlighted look, giving that more can't speak. Circular, cylinder appearance. Yeah, you know what? Not bad. Love to see this maybe done again. And again, guys, we're gonna run this same challenge for one more week because I forgot to prepare another one because I was like, oh wait, this is week 1, but I forgot it's been technically 2 weeks now. So, but we'll run this one for one more week. But again, anything in the tattoo challenge, any of the pieces you want to do, feel free to do them. But next week, there'll be a new challenge. Guys, if you want to get in on this challenge, just submit for next week. In the description of this video, you can find the Google Drive where you can download that image, print it, stencil it, tattoo it. And then you'll also see a specific email address only for the tattoo challenge emails. And you can send it there. If you send me something other than a tattoo challenge email to that email address in the description below, then we'll delete it. If you want to just send any work you want, you can send it to the email address that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. But we're only going to view what is sent in during the live stream after we're done taking a look at the tattoo challenges. Hopefully. That's a lot. So hopefully that's people understand what I'm saying. You want to read this one?
Sure.
Here we go.
So I can't say this is good at all, but at least I can say that I tried. I used baby oil, but the stencil won't move. I think I left it on there for too long, about a week.
That's probably a good thing, but yeah, I mean, it's better to have your stencil there than not. But
Yeah.
all right, here we go. Oh, but see how it's like when you first click on something, you're like, oh yeah, but then you zoom in a little bit. Not that I'm saying that it is happening here, but a lot of times I'm quick to make decisions before I even really look at it because my thoughts have already changed.
Yep.
Oof.
We've got a lot of issues.
Yeah. It just
Lines-
overall it's messy looking.
Yeah, it's somebody's trying to run before they can walk. Unfortunately, with this one, line weights, line saturation, lines that don't meet stuff that's not parallel to each other.
Right. Yeah, that's it's not dent. Like there's some spots that even if you're getting a little bit of these streaks, it's that's relatively okay. I would consider this density to be some of the best. But over here we got lines that are like going past each other. A random thick line here, which doesn't really play into the rest of the piece. Whatever these little large splotches are. At least they kind of kept it somewhat consistent with these splotches. Yeah, I don't know. I think lining. I see they tried to do some shading, and I think the gem is probably the best shading on this piece. But in my opinion, Andy, I think they just need to focus. Don't worry about shading right now.
No,
because the lining needs some work, some consistency, some hand speed to depth to voltage, that whole thing. But they're on fake skin, practicing.
They're on fake skin. They're just got to work on the lining. This person needs to concentrate more on their lining than anything else to start with. Working out what voltage works for them, how far they want the needles out, hand speed. That's what this person needs to work out first, because then they've got a few other issues like the shapes of the leaves are fallen off. Some of the leaves are right, have kept the right shape. Some of them have fallen off. This is why I say should always have a reference at the side here as well of your stencil, just so you can glance across from one to other.
Agreed.
But lining, they've had a go. They're getting the critique like everybody else, and I'm not going to absolutely decimate them or anything, because you can see that they are trying. You can see that they are trying to pay attention and trying to get it done.
Right. And again, from here, it looks pretty decent.
Yes.
But when it doesn't, you don't have to get too close to see it. So I just think enough practice. If they were to do this particular piece a few times, and I think they're going to see improvements overall. Danik, you're not wrong either, though. Danik says the initials at the bottom are okay. And you're right.
They're slammed in and
they're
done.
the most dense lines there. Yeah, good observation, Danik. All right. Okay, what do we got? 4 more guys, and then we're going to be jumping to the critiques for the work sent to the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen after we're done here. Kenneth, you are up next, man. What's up, Dave and Andy? Had fun doing this piece. That's awesome. Thank you guys for your time and all you do. Thank the boss lady for the design. It was a challenge. The small circles got away from me, but I had fun doing it. All right, cool, man.
Fair play.
Cool. Let's take a look. Oh,
all right.
Okay, again, I'm from a distance, but I'm like, oh, okay, the lines look good from here. And the picture's slightly pixelated, just a little bit. But let's do a little scroll across here. It's not bad.
No, it's taking a bit of artistic license on it.
Yeah,
and it's actually flipped, is this design?
It is. Mm-hmm.
That's what's throwing you.
Yeah,
It's
I
as
don't think
if
he mirrored
when,
it.
yeah, as if when he's gone to print it out, it's not, if he's used a printer or whatever, he's not mirrored it. And I think that's what throwing is as well, because we're so used to seeing it the right way around.
Yeah,
That
these
when
leaves are
somebody's,
supposed to be over
yeah,
here.
yeah, when somebody flips it the other way around, you know, you sat there thinking, yeah, it's designed, but there's something weird about it.
Right.
Yeah, but
yeah.
and it takes it takes a bit more looking at, doesn't it? When it's
does.
the wrong way around.
But, I kind of like, I do see like up here on the dagger, some lines on this you can kind of get away with being weird, but right here where these two pieces come around, that's the dagger itself.
Yeah,
So
it should have been sharper.
Right, should have been, or at least the same on both sides. But again, it's a practice piece on practice skin. I like the shading up here. They're shading it properly to give us shape. We get shape out of the handle. The gem looks pretty cool. Even the blue and the red it's not bad. We get a little bit of depth from some darker bits of red down here. I think the eye itself leaves a little bit to be desired, maybe in the openness here. Maybe a little bit of shape in that eye would have been cool to see. I do like the little bit of white they packed in on this or open. Yeah, it does again help play into the realistic-ishness of it. Making up words every day. Yeah, overall, you know what, not bad. And again, this is on some cheap fake skin, so
I like it.
Yeah.
See, best part for me is it's top part of handle.
Yeah.
Now, you see, not the very top, but it's just where he's done the scallops, brought it down. Yeah, he's coloured it in and he's put a bit of soft shading in it.
Yeah.
That's really nice. It's a really nice part for me.
Yeah.
Is that.
You know, I think I would have liked to see, Andy, actually, the one thing I guess is jumping out. To me, if you look at this, it looks like not that we're squinting at tattoos, but if you were to squint, it looks like two tattoos. So you have this upper piece and this lower piece.
Because there's no shading.
Exactly. Right here, it just needed a little something to tie them together because we have nice, pretty decent shading throughout, color throughout. Yeah, I think that would have helped out a little bit. Okay. Thank you there, Kenneth. What do you think? Yeah?
I liked it.
You agreed?
I do.
Good. Good. Oh, wait, I don't know why I started that. Okay.
Hey there. I started tattooing fake skin around a week ago and have found your channel very helpful. I know there's a long way to go on this journey, but I thought I would give the challenge a go. Thanks, Mark.
All right. Yep, it's always a challenge, always.
Whew. Ooh, that's dark.
See, now this would be a moment to say, I think the shading got away from you a little bit because this is suffocating, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's on that thin fake skin, so it's a nightmare anyhow. Let's just kind of do a slow scroll through. I'll start at the bottom. We'll just kind of scroll it up and just kind of soak it in, I suppose.
Yeah, it's that dark. It's actually making it's hiding some of the lines.
Yeah.
Making them hard to read.
Absolutely.
It's like the little circles,
here,
little circles under Joel. They've gone.
There is little to no sign that they even existed. I mean, a little bit here, but yeah, really covered up a lot. And then I don't know what this is. So yeah, I think the biggest problem here really is, I mean, some of the lining aside, it's not bad. Like it could use, it needs improvement, but it's not.
It's smooth.
Horrible. Yeah, it's relatively smooth.
It's just not well saturated.
Yeah, and that could be part of this fake skin as well.
Yeah.
And then the drops, with the we can call them tears or blood or whatever you want them to be, wherever, are lost. This is lost here, a little bit lost here. So, okay.
Yeah, got the shading has got away from this person. Too dark.
Yeah, and they need to think about that maybe before they tattoo it. If it was like drawn out, had you printed this first and then sat there with a pencil, if you're doing it in black and gray or whatever you do, figure it out first and then attack it afterwards and just follow your reference. But yeah, this you got to have breathing room. You got to have breathing room for the tattoo to really work. Some people like really dark work, but I think it was a little bit too
This
dark.
is too dark.
Yeah. Well, Mark, thank you though, man. Thanks for taking the challenge. And the next person we have, Tattoo Critique. I done all these. Wait a second.
Nope.
No. See ya. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Oh crap! Did I delete? No, I deleted the right one.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Beachman. All right, this is the last one we have here. Is Chris Beachman? Then we'll be jumping over and critiquing your guys' work for the next hour, and then we're jumping off. So the live streams are only going to be going for 2 hours from 6 to 8 o'clock. So that's our time frame. All right, let me see if there's anything written. Nothing written, so we'll open it up.
So this gentleman or this person right here, he had sent an email earlier but didn't attach the pictures.
Oh, this is that
the
person.
picture.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. Let's zoom in and do a slow walkthrough here. Doop, 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 doop. This is quite a thick line here. I wonder if this was intentional or what. Let's keep moving. We got the line consistency is pretty nice. When they drop to the smaller liner for up here, we kind of lost a little bit of it. And I think shading's missing from this portion right here because we have the shading here, and then up here we're kind of missing it here. And I do like the shading in the curved areas. In here is it's not too bad. It's a little bit harder to read, but overall I'm not drawn to any specific thing there.
No, it's looking pretty symmetrical.
Yeah, I think it gets a little dark in here. And light up here. You know what? It's not bad. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just because overall this section in the eye has like a little bit extra darkness on it that I don't see anywhere else.
Yes.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Something's pulling my eye here and not for the good.
Yeah, I think it's too dark.
Heart is like the eye itself is going into the heart, and the heart is
coming over.
Yeah.
Around it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit too dark in center for how light is.
Yeah. Same.
I like the rest of it.
Yeah. And there's the good and the bad. And yeah, I think Danik says he thinks the thick line was a fixed boo-boo. I wouldn't say it's a consistent thick line.
It's a consistent thick line though, isn't it? It's because if you look, he's put the thick line in over the top of the eye as if it's like an eyebrow, coming up to the eyelashes. So
it's true. And as Art You Later said, this is also the really thin, hard to tattoo fake skin. Good point to bring that up. But I do like. I don't dislike this one. I do think there's some really good qualities here. But somewhere it got away a little bit.
The center section around the jewel and just above the jewel and that it's got it fairly even and fairly consistent through there. And that it's like I say, it's just in that eye.
Yeah, just here.
Yeah. And I think the tip of the dagger's a bit as it comes down, but.
Right. And it's a little dark here as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a little dark right in here. And maybe they started shading down here and just kind of but here I think they have like you were saying, Andy, a nice level of darkness, shading to open skin breathability.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just a learning curve.
Absolutely. Overall, guys, this was a tough one. But I think overall, everybody did pretty stinking nice. There was nothing in there that was like, oh, dear heavens, A couple could use, a little bit more work. But when they sent the email, they also acknowledged that, like, hey, I think I need some help. This wasn't great, but I want to submit it. It's cool. It's always good, even when it's not great, to hear what other people, have to say about it, even if they're not telling you exactly what to do. It's not like we're over here telling you guys, oh, fix this, fix this. We're just really just looking at it, giving you a general thoughts here and there. So I'm going to drop this down and pull up the other email. And then
just while you do that, I'm going to make a pit stop.
That sounds like a plan. All right, I'll
Yeah.
drop you out there, Andy. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get the other email pulled up. Again, that's going to be the email scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to go over there and see how many emails we currently have, and I'll let you guys know if it's, if it's super worthy to send it in. Holy smokes. Okay, we do have a lot right now. Yeah, okay, so we got a lot right now. So we'll probably going to have a rough time getting through all these in the next hour, but we're going to do our best to get through as many as possible. So let me come over here. This one, share. It's loading. Okay, bam. There we go. This is what we have, guys. Starting from this star right here, because that one came at around 5:30, which is when we go live, or when I put the notification out that we're going to go live. And from that point on, we'll look at anybody's work that was sent in unless we run out of time. So anyhow, and then this is what we have. So there's quite a few here. So we're going to jump right in while we're waiting for Andy and take a look. Go ahead and be our reader of words.
Hey, I decided that I was confident with all of my newer practice skins and would try to tattoo myself once again. First one being 6 months ago. I've learned a lot from the new experience and would love to know what I could have done better. P.S. The shading I decided to do myself.
What does that mean, the shading? Oh, the reference didn't have the shading, you think? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what they're
think
saying?
so.
Even if
he sent the reference photo.
Yeah, just word of advice in those cases. Draw it first. Put the shading in on paper first. I haven't even looked at your piece, but I would prefer, if I was going to put something permanently on skin, to have a reference, even that you've shaded prior to the tattoo. Even if it's a line tattoo, you go to do it. We'll see how it went, but I'm just saying I would have taken this piece and shaded it with a pencil, charcoal, whatever your preference is, then put the shading in my skin, and all you have to do is follow the reference. You don't have to think, oh, maybe shading here. Oops, I don't really like that. No eraser. So that's my thoughts. So let's take a look. Well, you know what? It was executed pretty decent. Nice minimal soft shading.
Hunter would like this tattoo.
He would.
He watches the show.
It worked out for you. So let's take a look now. The lining looks consistent. The lines look crispy, dense. As we heard us talking about before, we have different line weights. I think it works. You have enough black, in my opinion. There's enough black in this tattoo to give it depth. Yes. And then you hit it with these nice, smoother, soft shades, which give things form. And yeah, man, I really do like this tattoo. Nice job. Yep. Nothing crazy to say here. Let me get Andy's back. Let me pull him up. Bam, there he is.
I'm here.
Nice job, man. Nice job there, Brian. Overall, solid. Thank God. See, that's why you're the boss. Brianna. All right. I think we've been looking at Jeremy's work for a minute now. Hey, Dave, me again in another portrait practice. About 7 months in now. Hope you remember my earlier pieces. Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah. We do. I think Andy, you probably remember too. Pretty much every time we got at least one email from Jeremy showing us his progression. And I think we got another progress report here.
I like
this is an improvement overall.
It's smooth.
Yeah. And before, I think what we were noticing is things kind of looked a little patchy, and like the hair, I really like this. Very nice open areas. Even this lighter area at the top of the hair, didn't leave it completely open, went back with like a slightly mid-grade or whatever and toned it down a little bit. Nice softness around the lips coming from here. If this was on skin, though, I think we'd want a little bit of something behind here. I always say that, just to kind of give it some form over time. It might blend out. But even if that wasn't there, you still are going to easily tell what this is.
Yeah, it's nice and soft. Only thing I'm not 100% on on this is top of eyes, eyelids, eyelashes. They look a bit false.
Like here?
Yeah. Like I said, just like the eyelashes, they just look a bit false, a bit black.
The eyelashes. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
As if it could have done with it being a bit more, so we say
Refined?
sharper, defined, refined in there. But it's soft.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
It's soft. It's like a slight out of focus photo, isn't it? This, you know, it's quite a nice effect.
I think a little bit more work on this nose here would be the next thing I would do. If I were to continue to work on this piece, you can't go back on it right now and refine the eyes. Obviously, that's black's already in there. And yeah, like Annie said, and Alicia said too, it just needed to be more refined.
Yeah,
and
we get a little lost.
Yeah, they kind of blend in the more you get up on them. And then the nose, we have this like such a faint little line right here, which is cool. But as you work more with your portraits and whatnot, introduce more of a lighter shade. Since you want them to clearly be soft, I would add just a little bit more of like this lightness. Just maybe throughout here, give a little bit more form to the face as you progress in this journey of portraits. I know you've been working on diligently, putting in the time, and yeah, cool. The lips are really well done, Amber says. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for constantly keeping us up to date on your current pieces. It's cool to follow it. Okay, we got a lot here. Here you go, Mrs. Reader.
Hi, Dave. Just started tattooing this week, and I've been unemployed since I got diagnosed with an eye disease 7 years ago and left me with central sight only. I always wanted to tattoo, so I thought, fuck it. If I don't try now, I never will. Using a cheap wormhole tattoo kit until I get something better. Go easy on me. Big love, John from Derry, Ireland. Love the show.
We're a family-friendly show here, right?
I know.
My goodness.
I felt weird saying that.
You just say F it.
Sorry.
It was so prominent to it.
What it said. I was reading what it said.
I know.
Oh, we're getting censored now.
You're right. Okay, so wait, hold on. They did say what, 1 week? Okay,
yes.
1 week. There's only, we're not going to be looking at anything fantastic here, obviously. And yeah, so you jump right into it doing a piece, and it's fun. I get it. It is fun to just jump right in and start just making a tattoo of an image. But from here, I would say maybe work on just lines, just run lines, just run, practice.
Smaller, just smaller 2-3 inch pieces that you can do. That's not getting away because lines have got away. You can see a lot of hesitance in these lines. They tried pulling them and it's like,
right.
There's not a lot of smoothness in them. And then that affects your saturation and everything. Yeah. I don't see much. I'll be honest on this as well. I don't see much signs of a stencil.
No, I agree with you, and there is no. It's unfortunate to say when on the receiving end, but there's really no redeeming features here because there's no lines that are really. There's no two lines that I can say, hey, these two were ran pretty decent because we have wobbles, depth issues. It's a cheaper fake skin, which, as you've seen, people can do some really amazing things with, but overall, it's not the best. And like Andy said, you're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, same here. I guess we get a little bit better line work, but it's not quite what we're looking for. And saturating colors. If you've been doing this a week, I wouldn't even worry about color right now. Just get comfortable doing lines, comfortable later on, maybe just doing some black and gray shading. Then move on from there because you're going to overwhelm yourself with a whole bunch of stuff. And overall, none of it's going to look good. And then you're just going to end up quitting because nothing's looking good because you're trying to do too much at once. You're 1 weekend. Okay. Pretty much the same here. Yeah. Okay. And again, we pretty much it's the same stuff over and over. We're putting color in when, this color's not saturated. I'm just not a fan of what I'm looking at, but that's also because I've been tattooing for 1 week.
Yeah, it's not long.
So,
it's not long, but
no.
But then again, kudos for sending it in after 1 week.
That's true. That's true.
It's a gutsy move because we all know after 1 week, generally, you can't pull a line worth crap.
No, of course not. No. You're just dabbling in everything.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of get where this person's coming from because they're like, all right, I'm going to do color. I'm going to try all these things. And maybe you got to get that out of your system. Maybe you got to like try all those things and then go, okay, none of it's really what I thought it was going to be. Let me back up and
start with some basics.
Yeah, start with some lines.
I mean, we see it often though, Dave. It's a big common, shall we say, mistake or whatever. People forget about starting with the basics.
Yeah,
you could get a pen and a ruler and draw yourself some boxes and some crosses and some lines and some circles on a piece of false skin and try tattooing them to start with, and keep it small. But everybody seems to want to jump in and do a Picasso on a massive piece of a massive piece of false skin to start with, and it always seems to get away with them. Yeah.
Well, I do see some improvements here, so that's cool. The Mario is probably the better of them. But the one thing with false skin that you can do and you can't do in real skin is just kind of like keep going over a spot until you get it really refined and perfect. In human skin, you might destroy the skin by then. But I do think that we're improving, and you're still on fake skin. You haven't done the crazy deed and jumped to human skin all of a sudden out of nowhere. But you still got a long way to go, which I'm sure you already know. But you know what? At the end of the day, Andy, I am looking across here and saying we started here, I'm hoping. Yeah. And maybe we're ending here, and we're going to keep at it.
Yeah. Which you can see a little bit of progression. And the last piece is looking at, well, there may be a little bit smaller and simpler pieces, not as intricate.
That's it. And there's no color in here. There's no shading. They're just putting some black in. And maybe they've gotten to the point where like, okay, maybe I need to just do some simple stuff and just work on the basics. And that's exactly right. And that's when you start to see some of the more better things happening here. So it's always interesting to try to diagnose what we think is going on. Like, I really don't know. Okay. Hello, I am self-taught tattoo artist from Tijuana, Mexico, and I really appreciate your advice. This is my first tattoo in color. Thank you so much. All righty, let's see. Where should we start here? Okay, we got a black. Ooh, this looks nice and crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, nice job. I like the lining in this is nice. The leaves are pretty decent. When you put it next to this reference, though, which is a tattoo somebody else did, it's not quite there. But, these lines aren't too bad. Well, they're certainly not the same. So if you look over at this piece, we have consistent lines. They're all the same thickness, which tells me they're running the machine at a consistent angle and all that jazz. Where over here, we got a little bit of thicker lines, thinner lines. Clearly, the reds you're using are a bit different. This black is much richer and whipped out, where this looks more like it was like not whipped out. It was just kind of like packed in there and then red packed over top and over. So, the leaves are better.
Yeah, line weight from one to other is different. The leaves, bottom leaves, as it's sculpted around, they don't finish off.
Right. You see that throughout, especially down here too.
Yeah, I mean, other than, excuse me. Oh God.
God bless you. Was that a sneeze?
That was somewhat like a sneeze. I didn't know whether a sneeze, cough, or jump off camera or whatever. Then
thought we were gonna have to call the UK 911 over there. Get him.
Yeah.
He's dying.
But yeah, and it's a little bit sharper in places. It's not as smooth. Like the center of the rose. If you look at the center of the rose on the right, it's more bulbous, more curved.
Right. Well, this is a bit sharper here.
It's a bit sharp. It's a bit sharper, and underneath it's not as curved round the bottom of the rose. It's not as curved, and I think this is where it's doing it damage. The leaves, but If I'd have done that, I'd have had to visit back. I'd have to visit bathroom again.
Right. Line weights, though. I think line weights,
line weight, line consistency,
right?
And I think the colour choice is not doing it in the help either. Where one's a bright red, one's more of a pinky red.
Right.
Same with greens. Wanted a bit of yellow in it.
Yeah.
But first colour attempt, you're going to have to take away from this one and apply it into your next one. There's obviously a couple of, shall we say, design flaws in it. Whereas you look at one and you look at the other, and they don't match up. They don't look the same. They don't match up.
Yeah. But I do agree that just if you want to just do, if I could only do two things with this, if there was, I would, the line, especially in like a traditional stylish piece like this, a heavier line weight is like as a must. And I think we missed the mark there. And then, the color matching the red. If they're just those two things, and even if you left the black the way it was and it didn't quite have this nice, smoother whip out look, it would still have improved this piece a lot. So if this is the kind of work you're looking to do, then you might want to get more comfortable using like some round shaders because they're going to give you a thicker, bolder line. They're going to go in easier, but you got to get comfortable, keeping and maintaining a good machine angle. Just keep a nice, consistent line. What happened?
Danik's comment.
I agree they don't match up. One leg has more hair. One leg has more hair. You know what? You might be able to braid this hair over here. This is on an arm and this is probably on a leg. That's what's happening here. But no less. Next up is that Michael? Michael says, I am 56 and tattooing on and off for 7 years. Just tell me what you think. Thanks. On and off for 7 years. Alrighty. Okay.
I like that.
Do you like that?
I do.
Okay.
This has a charcoal effect to it.
Yeah, it does. What kind of fake skin is this on? Hard to say. It looks like pretty decent-ish fake skin. It's not bad. It's nice. I guess I just look at certain things. I do like the way the hair has a lot of movement in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little like almost maybe they're using like a round shader or something, kind of like a little patchy-ish looks here and there, but it does have nice movement in depth, so that's cool. Cool. Right? Right here. This is cool. The only thing I don't like about some of the color is how they lined the color.
Well,
I'm not big. I like it when it's not lined around it.
I can see what they've got to do here. They've got to try pull off watercolor using full pigment. Now, yes, I understand it, but secondly, what you'd get is you'd still get one color bleeding into another. If you know what I mean, greens into your purples, into your blue a little bit. I know they wanted to keep them separate, but you would have got greens to blue. Now, putting really dark in, like they have done, is fine. But instead of putting it in big blocks like they have done, is just to take the corner of the mag and just put a tiny little bit in, just to accent a few little areas. Or if you're going to put a darker one, is go dark and work it into your light so it looks like it's watercolor blended in.
Right.
It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong.
It's
not horrible by any means. I mean, the black in the tree punches the colours out forward.
It's very contrast-ish.
Yeah. It uses some nice bright colours. It's just the watercolour effects. It's a bit segmented for me.
Yeah. It's not meshing.
It could have been blended a little bit more.
Well, let's move on. Let's check out the. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm not a fan.
I'm not the biggest fan. I think there's just Dobby. Dobby, whatever his name is. Yeah, I think we just get kind of lost here. We lose shapes. We lose the shapes of the face. The nose kind of just is gone, and then all of a sudden there's some nostrils, and I don't know. I think there's a lot going on here. We kind of missed the mark.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a bit dark. Which thing is that, isn't it? Is it Smeagol?
Oh, is that what? Is it Schmeagol? Is that what his name is? Schmeagol?
I have no
Or is
idea.
Lord of the Rings.
Dobby's that other thing.
Yeah, it's Smeagol in it out of Lord of the Rings.
Schmeagol. Yeah, there we go. That's Gollum. Now someone's saying that's Gollum.
All right.
I thought it was from Lord of the Rings.
It is from
but
Lord of the
thought
Rings, but
his
I have
name was
no.
Dobby, or is that in Harry Potter?
Harry Potter with Dobby.
See, I can't keep them all
I don't
together.
know.
I don't watch a lot of movies, so. But nonetheless, now here,
I do like
I
that.
freaking like this.
This
a
is
lot.
nice.
The color palette is on point, which doesn't even make me look at the lining at all. Even the lining is pretty decent overall. And that color's sweet.
The huge contrast between that purple and the green and the yellows is awesome. And how it's just got that like dripping effect off it. Probably would have liked to see a little bit of a lighter tone in with them pinks and purples, but no, I like this one. I really like this one.
I do too. It kind of gives it like the sticker effect, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, but it's in your face as well. The good thing about this one, because it's bold colour, it's in your face. You could stand at the other side of a room and you'd still tell what this is.
Yes, and that is important because a lot of times if it gets too mushed up or anything like that, you can't really tell what it is unless you're all up close on it and having to see every little detail to it. Like you said, this one you can see from across the room and you know exactly what it is. Ouch.
Ow.
That it's like a comeback and it just kicks Boss straight out of a seat. Yeah, go on, get out.
Man. All right, I'm leaving anyway. So
you're leaving?
I am.
Aww.
The kids are calling me.
Okay.
Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Lighter. You want your drink?
No, you already sold half of it.
No, it's fine. I got that one right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Looks like spray paint.
This is bold. This is really bold in your face. This is my type of tattoo.
Yeah, I would love to do this tattoo. I love the color palette too.
Yeah, it's
super cool.
Like I say, you can read this from a mile away.
For sure. Nice. Overall, yeah, this one was definitely my favorite. The one I had there. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, next one. Evening, Dave and Andy. Oh, this is that. I pronounce this horribly. Cockney Tez.
Cockney Tez
as well. Well, this is the first time sending something in apart from the challenge tattoo, as I'm still not confident on my work, but I truly value both your knowledge and point me in the right direction. I started tattooing about 6 months ago. Now, when I was in dark place with my mental health, and it helped me so much. That is really cool. The pig is one I started today. Still need to do some more tomorrow, then soak it in bleach to get rid of the stencil. Correct. Love your channel, Dave. And Andy is the cherry on the cake. Right on. So we'll start with this one.
Ooh.
Okay. You know, it's not perfect, but I do see a lot of potential here.
Yeah, it's not perfect. There is a lot of potential. Somebody is trying hard. You can see that somebody's trying hard.
For sure.
To try and look at the lines, try and look at the saturation, look at the tattoo. Yeah, maybe this style of, how can I put it, your skill level at this minute in time maybe not suits this style of tattoo.
Right.
There is a lot of lines. They are quite intricate. There is a lot of symmetry involved. That if you don't get that combined with lines not joining, deepness of lines, your eye starts going all over the piece.
Yeah.
And again, once you start seeing a few little mistakes, your eye starts looking deeper, and then it becomes a lot of mistakes become apparent.
Right. They start to compile, but you can tell that the person was like you say, they're trying. I mean, I see both consistency and inconsistencies in the same pieces I'm going to talk
Yes.
about. This side, we do these loops, so they're touching the other one. While on this side, we have them not touching each other. But on each side, they're kind of consistent, these loops. So you're focusing, you're really trying to nail these, but then over here, they're a little bit different, but I can tell there's focus. This line's coming down, it's trying to meet in the right spot as this one. The lines are pretty decent, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell that they're not perfect, but if you continue down this road, they're gonna get better. You're going to know what to look for. You're gonna start seeing that wasn't crisp, and then you're gonna run that next line, like, oh, that one was crisp, and start to put the pieces together. I think, like Smoke said, you're on the right train track. Keep going.
Yeah. Just
so
still
take
got
a
to
look
figure
at
out
the pig then. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this bad Larry. Again, like, these lines here are pretty smooth, right? They might not be fully saturated or fully crisp, as in, saturated, I guess you can say, but it's smooth. You put that needle in and you ran that line. You probably just moved a little bit too fast, or maybe your machine angle was slightly off. Over here as well, maybe we didn't quite where these thicker lines are, where we have a bit of a slower movement here. We get a nice thickness going around, but over in these spots, we kind of slowed.
Look at the line underneath the pig's nose and the bottom of the chin. They're blasted in. They're in.
Yeah, this is
that's how it should. That's how it should be.
Right.
Whatever he's done on these two lines, it should have looked at it and took stock and thought, "Wow, they're in. That's right. Whatever I've done there, they've gone in. They look good." And then applied it to the rest of it, and it'd have been super solid because they're in. They're how they should be.
Yeah, for sure. And then also what they did too is they used different line weights. So we have the very thicker line for on the outside, and then we saved that thinner liner for doing the little things. And these are nice and punched in. And it's easier to punch in a smaller needle because obviously it takes less effort. It's sharper. It's, pushing less skin and what have you. So that was cool. And I love this color is very well saturated as well.
Yeah, it's bright.
I was punched in there too, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing. We got a little bit of shading going on. This is not too bad. I don't mind this. I mean,
it's a lot better than the mandala.
Say again, Andy. I'm sorry.
It's a lot better. This piece is a hell of a lot better than the mandala.
Yeah, which is cool.
Like I said, and it just needs to take stock out of this one. So where he's doing the lines and it does go in, it just needs to take stock of what he's done on them lines and then just apply it to all of them, and it'd look different again. Then when you got up close to it.
Yes, it's a nice job. Nice job on that. But you can see. Conkney, Tez, I'll say Tez. You can tell where you're at. You can see where you're going, and just stay nice and consistent. Work on those fake skins. Send us some more next week or whatnot, and we're just going to slowly watch you develop. Okay, don't be in a rush to jump on real skin yet. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we got some human skin tattoos here. Practicing a lot, still learning a lot. Okay. Well, it's practicing a lot, but look what you're practicing on. That is like paper. I think if you grab 5 sheets of paper, it would be thicker than this fake skin, which is tough. You're giving yourself a really hard time. I don't even know why they sell this stuff anymore, but they do, and they give it away in kits too, and it's just really hard to work with. And while this is not it's not horribly done, it's just not really super clean, and before you go to human skin, if you want to make sure the work you're doing on fake skin is as clean and as crisp as you can get it. And if you're not getting those results, get a good quality fake skin. If you're still not getting those results, then keep working on that good quality fake skin until you really start to see things happen. So yeah, these lines are still kind of shaky, and
they are, and it wants a good clean, does this piece? There's still a lot of smudging on it.
Right.
It'd have been better if it had been cleaned off. Been a little bit easier,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to read. I mean, there is some nice features in it, and that there is some half right lines, but on this fake skin, it's going to do this person no good. They're not getting saturated. Where it's solid black, you're just not getting saturation in there.
Yeah.
It's too thin to take all that saturation. You're either going to chew it up or just spend so much time filling a small area nice and steady that you're going to get bored doing it.
Agreed. Let's see what they did next. Okay. Well, I think we're back to these lines again. Well, if you look at the paw, this is as far as I can zoom in. We've got some blowouts throughout the lining of this paw, right here, here,
Yep.
and here, and these lines. And this kind of has. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of looks like it might be partially healed or whatnot. I don't think this was the same. It might be the same. I don't know. What do I know? Anyhow, all I'm saying is these lines are shaky. You know, they're put in, they're pulled out. Maybe you didn't get a good tight stretch. They're inconsistent, especially these internal lines. Man, it's just kind of rough. And then the purple, I'm not understanding why we have a really dark purple and a light purple. I get that, but it doesn't make sense in this. It does not come across as a design feature because you were putting dark parts and light parts. It's not reading right.
It would have read better if the dark would have been consistent through the ends of every petal on that leaf, or if it had been from the center, the dark would have been in the center, from the center of it out to the light. But just to have it on two doesn't read very well.
Yeah. And then just like the open spot here.
The green in the leaves isn't in. There's a lot of open space. There's a lot of holidays in the green. Yet the yellow is packed in well. Looks to be packed in well, does that yellow.
Right.
But like you say, yes, you got some blowouts around that paw print. Bit of shaky line work.
That black is saturated pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Yeah, maybe just too soon for the skin, you know? I don't know. Oh. Huh. This is kind of a large tattoo. It's kind of a large tattoo.
Yeah, it's taking up a lot of. And
yeah.
I can't. Is that still a lot of stencil? Is that black or is it stencil that's on bottom?
There's still I can tell there's the purple from the stencils there and black, and it can be difficult to decipher the difference even when you're tattooing. Sometimes you got to really try to get that purple off if it's distracting you. It can make it appear that your black is in there because it's the purple and what have you. But yeah, we really I think this is the main spot here where it gets a little tricky because we have various line weights here. Obviously, we get a little thicker here, thinner here. This is kind of missing a little bit there. Yeah.
Designs like this are super critical on being as good as you can be.
Really nicely.
Yeah. Because they're symmetrical. And it's good because your eye's looking at both sides at once. You're going to pick anything up straight away.
Right.
And like I said, yes, there is a few inconsistencies. It's like from under the nose, the lines that come for the mouth.
Yeah.
The left-hand side, you can see it's fatter than the right-hand side. It's like he's had a couple of passes over it. It's okay passing over a line twice, 3 times, whatever, but you've got to make sure that you're on top of that line each time.
Yeah, that's it. If you don't feel comfortable, you're going to ruin it.
Yeah, you can't go down one side or down other. It's same with the above eye. The left eye, above the left-hand eye looks like the eyelid that comes up is a lot fatter than the right eye.
Yeah, that's the problem with this. This is like, and you see that throughout, unfortunately. Over here, we got these beads, and the line in a lot of this is the same size as the beads themselves, where this is thinner than the beads. And same down here. And here, I think this might be not there. I'm not sure. That or it's super thin. Yeah, and I think people think sometimes that, well, I've been practicing lining and doing different stuff, and this tattoo is a simple tattoo because there's no crazy things going on, but it's literally all lines, which means your
There's nowhere
work's
to
out
hide.
there on display. There's no hiding, there's no nothing, and all you have is symmetry in lines. And if it's not symmetrical, you're gonna see it. Anyhow. Somebody asked, is that the signature tattooed
Bottom right
at the
hand,
bottom? I was
bottom
wondering
right
if
hand
it was
corner.
similar. Yeah, right here. I saw that. It looks like Davis, maybe. Or Darren. That's the person's name. Darren Straight. Anyhow, don't know, but hopefully that helps you out, Darren. Next person is Rami. Not sure. Hey, Dave, I only been tattooing fake skin for 1.5 months. Hope I can make it in this game. All right, let's see. We got the one piece here. Okay, 1.5
Month and a
months.
half.
Oh,
Wow.
I do like this lining. It's very
This lining
crisp.
is that circle. The
Yeah.
radius is on that circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on
And
you, man.
somebody is seriously taking the time to look at his line work because he's doing it for 1.5 months in.
Right.
The shading,
yeah.
for 1.5 months in the shading, I would say leave alone for the minute. Just like if you just line this piece and then put it to one side, and when you got some shading under your belt and understand your tones and your values as they go in, I think you would have done this piece more justice.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's all I'm going to say about the shading on this one because it's only 1.5 months in. But the line work, yes, you've picked yourself a nice fat liner, and you seem to have worked out, kept your curves smooth, your straight lines as straight as you can get them. You've used a nice fat liner, your curves in your clouds, and I think you, for 1.5 months in, I think this person has done a banging job of these lines on this fake skin.
Absolutely. Like you said, I don't really even care about the shading or whatever. Like, what are these waves? Is this a boat? Who cares? The lining is on point, and that's what you're looking for in the beginning. That's what you be focused on. And what you got to do here is you got to dabble with a little bit of stipple shading and getting a feel for things. I do like that you did make these darker, so I guess after you went over it, you do have some differences anyhow. But like Andy said, who cares about the shading? You work on that as you go. 1.5 months in, the lining's good. Your shading, you just got to get comfortable using different values and letting certain parts breathe a little bit more and what have you. But nice job, man. Thank you. Thanks for sending that in. It's cool to see some really
lining
nice
like
line
that.
work.
Lining like that after 1.5 months. It's
right. Okay. Hello. Would love for you to give me some tips. Okay. Hey, my name is Carla. I've been tattooing for about 5 months, and I would love your opinion on my work. I always see your videos and always listen to your advice, and it has helped me a lot. So thank you for that. Okay. We'll start over here and work our way that way. All right. Well, I'm not going to zoom in too much because I think this is already zoomed in on enough.
Yes, a bit pixelated.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of looks like maybe got away a little bit here and there. I wonder if it was supposed to be that big, but overall, I think it works.
Yeah, it's a little bit off. I wonder whether the actual lines in the love art were supposed to be that wide because they look a little bit close to points on anchor. But it's looking packed in well. I can't see so many holidays in it and open spots. Maybe a couple of little places. I'm not right sure if it's not right up to the lines, but kept it small.
Yep.
And it's not got away from them.
Okay. It's another. I do appreciate the simple stuff here. We're not trying to do anything crazy. We're packing black. And in my opinion, the black is nicely saturated. It appears to go up to the line. I can also see the lines in this too, and they do also look actually pretty consistent.
Yeah, there's a couple of places where it's not up to line.
Is it down here?
Yeah, and there's a couple of places in horse as well. But you see, when you're doing solid black like this, this is where you can. It's just like a chest, like black on white. It's you can see straight away. You know, where if you don't get up to your line work or anything. What bugs me on this one more than anything is that tree.
I wonder. It looks like one of them desert cactus, almost something.
Yeah, it just looks like there's a tree trunk going up. Then on ends of it, there's just like paint splats.
I'm not sure, but there are some trees. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be that way because these look like some of the trees I've seen out in like California up there in like Joshua Tree. I'm not sure if that's what they were supposed to be. If this was supposed to be a traditional tree and those are leaves, then yes, that's it's kind of an abomination. Not sure.
But it's nice that they're also keeping them small and simple.
True. Okay, and then we get to this.
Yeah, I think I should have just shut my mouth.
Damn it. We're keeping it small and simple. I appreciate that. And this is on the whole side of a leg. This circle right here drives me nuts right now.
It's off center.
Yeah, and it's a damn shame because some of it's relatively like they followed it along, but this side's too big and this side's skinnier. And then our lines aren't quite saturated all the way through.
No,
and
the black's not saturated.
Yeah.
And then you've got all this. I don't know whether all that crazy blue's supposed to be, lightning or whatever, but that fat blue that's all the way.
Yeah.
That fat blue that's all the way through it. But then them really all them loads and loads of little fine blue ones. It makes it look like he's got varicose veins in his legs. And it's just. Yeah, it could have been so much.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Just
is this supposed to be a cat or something over here? What is
I think so.
It's maybe I'm not familiar with what I'm looking at here. I can tell this is a face inside this like throwing thing, but I don't know what this is. Maybe like a cat sideways, some sort of cat face mask thing. I'm not a huge fan of it. We might be no. Okay, now we got. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this either on skin.
No, it's like tonal.
Yeah, very tonal. And while some of these lines are okay, when you have a ton of lines, the hardest part is telling yourself to slow down and do the best job you can with each one of them. Because sometimes you can get in a hurry and just want to run those lines, and then maybe that's what happened here.
Yeah,
but
some of them lines should have been a bit more symmetrical and parallel as they went through, and they're not saturated too well. It's as if, like you said, it's as if they've gotten a bit fed up of pulling lines, and just taking their eye off it, losing a bit of concentration.
Yep, good point too. Alicia, my Hunter tells me that apparently told Alicia that this is the mask that this guy wears or something like that.
Right.
Again, but everything we said still stands. It's just, we know what it is. And you can see they're working down here too. And this appears to be an improvement from this if they did them. But, if we go back to where we started here, okay, there's no fake skin. Okay. So I don't know what you've done on fake skin. So hopefully you've done a bit of practicing prior to this because it just makes things a little bit better. Your skin is cheap because you own it. It's on you, but you run out. It's from Naruto. Okay. Good to go. All right, guys, we got about 15 minutes, so we're gonna go a little bit quicker through these for the next 15 minutes, just so we can get to a few more because definitely not gonna make it through all of them today. And that just means you come back next Tuesday or where the hell did I get Tuesday from? Next Sunday, and we'll take a look at your guys' work again. And if you want to get into the tattoo challenge, we're going to run the dagger one more week. Links in the description to download that stencil, whatnot. All right, line work and simple shading. Hi, guys. I'll Keep my novel short. Attach Halloween pumpkin for line or critique. Moving into stipple shading. I'm moving into stipple shading. Second. Okay. Well, we're in a hurry as well, so we're just gonna jump into it as well. Dang, what is this on? Is this on? This is on paper.
I want to say this has got to be on paper.
Yeah, it's on paper. Very nice job. I really
Yeah.
love the values and the textures that are in that. That's could spend a long time. Look. Oh.
All right. So it's transferring it onto
Nice.
skin.
I don't see much of lining in here, but it works, man. It works. Nice.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get too tonal. Don't use, because obviously if this is on real skin, don't go too dark. And that, because it's still got to be readable.
Okay.
Just remember to leave some open space.
That's Todd's in the chat. Okay, yeah, he was saying that's the reference, not his work. This is
right.
his work. This was a reference. Fair enough, Todd. All right, so we're moving across. Okay. Did we see this
James Bond
like this the other day?
Yeah, we've seen something like that the other day.
Yeah, I like this.
I don't like it. It's just be careful again that you don't get overly dark with it. Remember to leave some breathing space, and especially your stipple shading. Just sometimes, it's still got to be readable.
Absolutely agree. And I do like this too. Yeah, a lot of line work. Funny, we started with that first piece, and I was like, "Oh, no lines." And I guess we're not going to see lines today.
I mean, he's
a lot of lines.
His heavy line work. His heavy dark line. He's super solid. It's super rich.
Yeah, I love that bold line around the outside, and then the teeth done in the same line weight. I like it. What I would have liked to see is the mouth, which maybe he's going to go and fill it in. But if this was filled in black, I don't know. Maybe it'd be too much, but it would really draw that mouth in nice and big.
But even his fine line work for the style that it's done in, it's nice. It's in there,
right?
And I know that we could say it's a bit too, wobbly, but that's the style basically of that. It's a nice piece. It'd be nice to see that pumpkin finished.
Yeah, you know what? Also, it'd be cool to see this one finished. So whenever you finish it, send it in on the next live. Overall, sorry, we are just trying to move a little bit quicker, guys. So cool to look at those. Really cool. Next up, hello, I'm sending my practice on fake skin. It's my first experience. Should I keep working or leave it? Is there any potential? Thanks. Boom. All right. Okay. So pretty much there's no like lines in this, just like stipple shading. But I think it looks cool for being on fake skin and what have you.
It's not a bad piece, and it's pretty even all the way through. For the style that done it in, there's a couple of places that not bang on symmetrical and just slightly missed, but for the style that it's done it in, it's 98%, and it's pretty even across the board. It's quite a nice piece.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I like this. Yeah, not even going to zoom too much in on it because the lines are, for the most part, look pretty crisp, and the black looks saturated nicely. That reads well. I like that the eyes got the shadings in the right spots for me. It's enough. If it's almost minimal but perfect.
And the lines are sharp. The hair's sharp. They come to a nice point.
Yeah.
The lines round the eyes, they're sharp. They're crisp. And if you're looking in the middle of the eyes, the circles seem to be. The circles for the pupils and everything all look to be there. This is a crisp, clean piece.
Yes. And I'm sure Hunter, you're probably digging this one, huh, buddy? He loves Naruto. All right. Oh, yeah. Cool. See, this is when people do something in like a sketchy style and it looks deliberate, not just what would have been a little bit cooler here is I don't do this kind of sketchy stuff because nobody asked for it, but a little bit of like variation in the line weight. So like a little bit like thicker here, maybe, and then it kind of like thins out. So you get that pressure that you would have from like putting a brush down or a pencil. And then as you sketch across, it comes a little bit smaller, I guess you could say. That would have been a cool little extra touch in this sketchy style look. But overall, the stimpling's good. Every one of the lines is pretty stinking clean. So
it's good for me. The only thing is because it's a foreshortening piece, is this, that they've gone to the extent of doing the foreshortening, but it's a little bit lost. where the arms comes forward like that, it's the same as everything behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas that'd be further forward, so it'd actually be just that bit lighter and just take everything a little bit darker behind it.
True that.
And it's a hard trick to pull off is foreshortening, even with pen and pencil. But that's just the thing. That's just the little thing. But I do like the style. I do like the style.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think you're practicing wonderfully. I like the minimalistness. I can't speak. I just make words up. The minimalistness in some of these pieces. My favorite was definitely Naruto. But it's all a little bit different. It's cool. I'm digging it, man. I like where you're going. Keep going because you got it. The next one, and again, we're moving kind of quick, guys. We got about 10 more minutes. Not sure if you guys are doing critiques on personal tats. I'm a doctor, MD, right on. And if you are here, what? And if you are here is my version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I like this.
Oh, I like it because it's
personally.
In colour. And it's quite, like I say, it's quite smooth. Is this?
I'm just going across the different. They're pretty much all the same. I like it, and for the sake of moving quickly, I'm just going to say that there's nothing.
It's nicely done.
Yeah, there's really nothing that I'd really change. I like the wispy shading in the background, the different colors in the back, the details up in here. I'm kind of looking for something to jump out at me, but nothing. I think they did a really nice job.
I think the only bad thing about this one is the angle of the photos taken. I think it'd have been a bit further down, so they got square onto arm, so I could see a bit more at back and top.
I wish you were my doctor, man. I would probably be broke because I'd come to see you because you seem cool, and have too much of a doctor bill.
No, nice tattoo.
Very nice, man. Thanks for sending that in. So if anything ever happens, you got to do some tattooing. You got that in your belt. But I'm pretty sure being a doctor probably pays a little bit better. But I don't know. If you get good enough, I guess there's more money out there. Did this flower on myself last night, trying to work on my color saturation. Okay, well, it appears to be quite saturated, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of the shading you did in the background before you put the red over the top.
I'm not a fan of the line work.
True.
It's not in there properly.
Yeah.
Secondly is that it's a traditional rose. Should have smashed some black in there in shadows first before you've done before bold lines, smash some black in before you've done the red. And the leaves should have been, one side should have been from center outwards, dark green to light green to yellow. And then on the other side, it should have been from the outside in, should have been dark green to light green to yellow. Not all one green. That's I think. But the very perimeter, the very outside of this should have been done in a, depending on the size of the tattoo, 9 round. It could have been done in a 9 round shader, 14 round shader. This, for the outer lines, and then a 9 round liner or whatever, for middle at leaves or further in.
Yeah. So take that for what it is. But if we're only talking saturation, that red is in there.
Yeah.
Saturation.
The colors are in. The colors are smashed in.
Just got to get those lines thicker, smoother, crispier, and then figure out how to get that rich black in there before we blast the red over top. All right. We're going to get through just a few more here, guys. Hey, I'm Jay. I only been having my tattoo machine 2 weeks and tried to tattoo myself. I can use some help shading. Thank you. This is the guy that tried to sneak into the other thing. Well, you're tattooing your hands after what, a week or 2 weeks? You're wasting this. Oh man, you're wasting such valuable skin. I mean, maybe you don't care. That's fine. But we got blowouts in every one of these letters. The K is blown out. The C is blown out. The A is blown out. The J is blown out. And then this is, just all around pretty rough.
It's not in there. I mean, your hand, because skin's so thin, it's easy to blow out. Even for anybody, you've got to be super, super careful.
Yeah.
Fingers are even easier than back of hands because they're just no but skin. Not a good place to be tattooing to start with.
Yeah.
Fake skin.
Yeah,
You need to be practicing on fake skin because your lines are in on the angel with the AK.
Yeah, and then if you're gonna tattoo skin on your own self, save your hand for another day. Get some reps under your belt. Practice fake skin. Start on your thigh or something or whatever. And work your way out just because. Been tattooing a little over a month, mainly focusing on my line work. I've noticed some areas after doing this piece that need touched up, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. Let's see if there's just one photo. Let's take a look. Oh, okay. This is a demonstration of, is it perfect? No, but the lines, like things are happening. You're moving in a direction you've practiced prior to getting onto skin, because overall the lines are pretty crispy, consistent. There's a few spots where there might be,
some
maybe went in and
blowouts
out.
and that, and
Yeah, but overall, pretty nice.
kept it simple, kept it within your capabilities, not gone OTT. Just done the line work and thought, right, that's enough. When I've practiced somewhere else, I'll go in and I'll either colour it, I'll either shade it or whatever. But it's as a whole, it's not bad. I mean, the thing that actually really does stand out to me is the biggest flower, top left-hand side, petal that pokes out to the right-hand side has got a heavier line around it than what seems to be the rest of it. That's the thing that jumps out to me.
Sure.
But other than that, you've not done too bad with this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Nice job. Archulator. Let's see. Hi again. So a week just passed with my playing with the tattoo machine and wanted to send my finished piece plus one more day, one more done today. Still cheap skin, but okay. So haven't done a lot so far, but hey.
Well, this is cheap skin.
Is this? It's cheaper skin. I don't think it's that. Maybe it is. I see a little bit of shadow. So this is like the mid grade. I'm guessing mid grade. It looks a little mid-grade.
The nun on the right, I really like that piece. Smoking a cigarette. I actually like it better than the butterfly. But the butterfly's nice and it's done well.
Yep.
But the nun is banging. Yeah, I like that piece.
I do too. The lines, look, we got lines going around this diamond. They're nice. We got lines up through here, maybe a wobble or two. You're going to find it in everybody's work. Well, I say that loosely. I'm really just talking about myself. And then you have nice, rich black whipped shaded out, a little bit of light shading. I think they're very nicely done considering everything considering. So,
I mean, the lips, he's got some nice shape to the lips, some nice shading out of the lips. His understanding his darks and his light values. Your shading is soft where it needs to be soft. And your line works in. So from there on in, it's just a case of him honing his skills in now.
Right.
On this. That's all it is, honing your skills in. Maybe try for your next pieces, because these two are quite dark. They're quite dark pieces. Try something that's not quite as dark, that requires a little bit of lighter shading. See whether you can achieve a lighter shade rather than being super dark and super rich.
Yeah, because now's the time to practice that stuff. Now's the time to practice it. And you could even mix that in anywhere. And it doesn't mean like, because you kind of want to, in the beginning, slowly, incrementally learn stuff. But overall, you want to kind of like learn a little bit of everything over time, not all in one day, obviously, is what we tell people. So even if you were like, I think I'm going to stick with heavy work down the road, still, like Andy said, learn that light stuff, because you never know. Now's the time.
Understand your values, understand your lighter stuff, because it's easier to use. It is easier to use colours and darker stuff, because it's like just using black. In it goes, and I'll just think, I'm using a red, it'll come out red. I'm using a yellow, it'll come out yellow. Use some different tones, some lighter tones, and brush them lightly to see what you can achieve. That's where this person needs to go.
Right. All right. So we actually have a tattoo challenge email in this email. I did remember seeing somebody said they sent it into the wrong email. So I'm gonna burp. Excuse me. Hi, I'm sending this just in case I didn't send it to the right email before. I am watching this and already seeing all this stuff. I should have did differently. And I'm here drawing the design, trying to learn. And I promise you, I will be installing a new one in black and gray next week.
No problem.
The part that has me nervous is this is already on human skin, and I can see part of it.
Yeah, I know. I then just say that they're going to take it down, and unfortunately, this is scratched in.
Dang.
This is scratched in. Unfortunately,
this is not good, man. This is not good. I mean,
if
this was on fake skin, it'd be like, all right, well, let me start talking to you. But this is on human skin, your skin, somebody's skin. It's just irresponsible, to be honest, to do that. This is why we use the fake skin, so that stuff like this doesn't happen.
Yeah,
is it repairable? Yeah, but don't go and try to repair it right now.
But the unfortunate part about this one is now that this one's going.
Man.
And I know you're in chat, Hope, but I'm going to pick this a little bit harder.
Yeah.
For the simple reason is you put it on skin instead of being on fake skin. Now, and you've branded somebody with this, basically.
Right.
And when we go through it and you look at your leaves, the design that Dave's wife come up with would have settled and for black outlines everywhere because it's based off a traditional tattoo.
Right.
Your leaves could have had a black outline, black veins, black ribs, but the bottom of your dagger, them lines aren't saturated, they're not in. Same around the eye, and the eye's lost. Now you've either shrunk this down so far and tried to make it too small because some tattoos you just cannot take down to a super small size. Some of them have just got to be that little bit bigger for them to work properly. And we can see around the love art, the lines aren't punched in.
No, there's like no stretch or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like I say, you're in chat, you must be watching it now. You must be able to see on your screen what we're on about because you're seeing some of the others come through now. That, like I said, this has really, really, really got away from you. Yeah,
it did. And I think you know that, if you don't, now you do. Don't do this. I wouldn't even right now. I would just tell you stop tattooing skin. You know what I mean? I know you're in the chat, but we have a moral obligation to tell you to stop tattooing skin because you're not ready for it.
No,
it doesn't matter if it was a different design. It's just not there. The lines are not there. They're, I don't know. I guess
fake skin. Like I say, if it had been on fake skin, it'd be different. But because you've actually put it on somebody's skin, just got a moral obligation to say, don't be doing this because, like I said, this person is now branded in theory, for life with this.
Right. It is repairable. It is repairable, but don't you go repairing it, unless you
at least not at the minute.
Yeah, it's you can clean this up. You can clean this up. Somebody came in and said, I just want this cleaned up, but okay, I can clean this up. But like Andy said, if you had done this on fake skin, I think we'd have a different conversation. But it's on human skin. So I think you should spend some time on fake skin.
It doesn't even look, it looks like it's on the side of somebody's calf and see the shin bone down the front. I don't know whether it's the angle of the photo. The shin bone seems to be like that, and the tattoo design seems to be like, placed on an angle.
Crooked.
Instead of, it seems to be crooked. It seems to be skewed across the leg a bit. And this makes up everything about tattooing people's skin and human skin.
Yeah. It does go to show that tattooing is not easy. And it takes time and it takes practice and whatnot. So if anything, just learn. You can't go back. Use it as a learning experience. What else can you do? And just adjust fire and tell yourself, I'm not going to make that mistake again. I learned. I'm not doing that again. I'm going to get some fake skin. If you take this serious and hone the skills and then come back, and then give it some time
Yeah.
But no less. All right, we're gonna
just go on to fake skin and keep on practicing.
absolutely
Don't get disheartened.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Dagger.
So we're gonna look at
this next one. It says dagger on it. So this.
Oh, it's another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got to realize they need to send them to the specific email address.
In the description below is another email address. So this one is artmesomething@gmail.com. The email for the tattoo challenge is tattoomesomething@gmail.com. And the reason why I tell people to send the tattoo challenge pieces to that email address, because you're guaranteed we're going to see them. Technically, I'm already 10 minutes over the time that we were going to do this for, so I would have never seen these. And good, bad, or ugly, it doesn't matter. If you want us to take a look at them, make sure you send them to that email address, tattoomesomething@gmail.com. So anyhow, we're going to look at this one since, it's here. Hi, guys. So I did this one twice and struggled with both, but wanted to send them and let you take a look. Thanks for all you do. Sorry, didn't get a chance to clean. All right. So we'll start with this one. Okay.
It's dark.
It is very dark. The lining is not too bad, though. No, from what I see, it could be a little bit more saturated. But
but the bold, thick, heavier lines are quite good. They're not what I call hesitant. Somebody's got to shake it, coming round.
Right. Smooth.
Yeah, they're quite smooth. And you get to the top, the leaves are in the right, shape and form.
Even these little bits right here is a good tell because we have a smooth gap in between. So this person's not bad with lining. The problem here is the color choice, the packing. Everything else kind of got a little away from you. But you know what? That's okay, though, because the fundamental thing, the real challenge on this piece was mainly the lining, right? And so I think you kind of hit that mark, or you're definitely moving in a good direction that way. Hone in on that.
Kept it. You see, they've had to go try to colouring. The colouring's got away from them because it's flat.
Yeah.
And again with the leaves. But again, look at the lining. The lining's consistent again on this one.
The lining is not bad. Overall, you're winning. You're winning, man. The lines are looking good.
You're winning on the lining. You just got to then learn to take a step back with either your colouring or your shading, because you're going very flat with it all, or going super dark or super monotonal. Leave some open space. Use some different colours, and it would work best. Again, that little parallel line bit down the middle there, it's good.
Right. I think that it's symmetrical too. There's little things, but I'm not really diving that deep because I think overall, even down here in the blade, you see that nice gap in between. I think it kind of veers off to the one side, which is probably why they made the bottom dark. Smart move,
Yep.
But overall, I see a lot of good things here. I think I would work on shading first, so I wouldn't worry too much about color yet. For some reason in my brain, this is how the order of operation goes, and it might be different for others. Lining, pack some black, do a little bit of shading, get a whip shade feel, maybe try some lighter shades, and then kind of bring color into that as you go along, but don't be in a rush. And that's just me. That doesn't mean you have to. It just, it might be better. So that way, by the time you get to that color, you've already packed black. So packing color is the same operation, especially if you practice packing really clean, rich black. All right. Good job. Let's see. I want to make sure we don't missing any. All right. So this will be our, oh, wow. Sweet. Okay. This is going to be our last one, guys. Last one right here. Junior Olivas, I can't read. Been tattooing for about 4 months, drawing all my life. You can tell. But would love to do some more portrait work in progress. Banging.
Right, from far away. From far away, this looks good.
Yeah, from here, it looks good.
What I can see.
Yep.
Obviously, there's a few line wiggles and wobbles.
That's
Which this is the difference. He's got a good art background, and it could probably do with pens, pencils, charcoal, everything on a flat piece of paper. And he knows all his lights, darks, everything, which you can tell. You can tell by this piece.
Tell they've been artistic for a while,
But
or working on this stuff.
Using a tattoo machine onto false skin is a different medium completely, and it works different. And then transferring from false skin onto human skin is a totally another different world. Because at the end of the day, if you're using paper with any of this other stuff, you can rub it out, you can erase a part, go back in. You can't with any of this. It's one shot deal, and you've got to be on the ball each time. It's like that rose.
Yeah, go ahead.
But the rose on the left-hand side, one of the things you can see where he's picked a line up and dropped a line off. You know what I mean? He's missed it. He's got a wider line.
Right.
And it's like round the edge of the nose, round the top of the lip. He's got a super harsh black line.
I know.
That'd probably been better off in a
like
soft grey.
Yeah.
And these are the things that you're gonna have to. But then again, what I am gonna say, I do like his stipples, whip shading.
Oh yeah,
his whip shading in the face
got a very consistent
feel.
Consistent movements and whatnot. I like how the nice shadowing. But the one thing which you hit on already, but it's just bugging me because I know it could have been so much better had. This, like you said, not been a black line. Had maybe this been, I'm going to use lingo of like a 5 drop or 10 drop, which is just my drop system, a lighter to mid gray, and maybe used your mag or something to darken up that the curl in the nose. Instead of giving it a hard black line, maybe just kind of shaped in some darkness, right? So you know what I mean? And over here, instead of a hard line, maybe a gray line, or try to work in maybe just a slight little bit of a shadow on that side to break up the two surfaces or what have you. You get away with that a little bit more up here in the eye because just the nature of it. But even here, you could have done the same thing. I like the eyebrows.
You just beat me to that, Dave. Beat me to. I don't like the eyebrows. There's one thing that I'm not. That shadow around the teardrop on the left-hand eye. There's no need to have a black outline around that. That could have been a lighter line, or just shaded. I tell you what, where I do really like, you see this like just at top of lip, just under the nose, top of lip, that that little indentation you have here above your lip, how they've got that. That's nice, but it's just they're using some heavy black lines that stand out on a tattoo in your face, where they should be using a lighter line,
right?
And at the end of the day, you can go in with a super light line and put it round and everything. Same with that rose. I wouldn't use the black line around that rose. I'd have used a deeper grey line, so it wouldn't have been as stark with how delicate this piece is. But at the end of the day, you go in with a lighter line around it. When you've done it all, if you don't like it, you can always go back in and darken it up a little bit. But once you've gone dark to start with, you can't take it out. You can't get an eraser and take it out.
I agree. Overall, though, even though it's just kind of pointing some things out, nice overall, though.
A nice overall piece, though. Yeah, it is a nice overall piece. Absolutely. Done really well for 4 months in.
Yeah, for sure. And it should be noted, he's still on fake skin. It looks good, and you're on fake skin. You're staying on fake skin, and it's responsible. I think everybody has their own opinions. I think it's smart. I think sometimes we do a little bit on fake skin. We're like, or if somebody tells you that looks cool, so you feel pushed. You feel like you want to jump. You want to get a taste of this real skin thing, this human skin. Just be patient. It's gonna be hard enough, even when you're at your best on fake skin. So give yourself the best chance you can have. All right. So, guys, that is pretty much that. We are out of time. We actually went over 20 minutes. It's hard to stop at 2 hours. It really is, because I know that there's a bunch of emails here, and I know you guys have been waiting. And but that's all we can do. There's only so much time. But I do want to thank everybody who came here, hung out in the chat, submitted your work, and allowed us to give you a fair feedback and whatnot. Give the stream a like, guys, as well. Also, again, new video coming on Tuesday. I'll be giving you my thoughts on these cartridges, which I'm a big fan of. I really had no idea what that was going to be like, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm hooked. A little bit more pricier than what I've been using, but I honestly do believe it might be worth the money overall. But no less, let me tell you what, guys. So give the stream a like, guys, on your way out. Also, make sure you go follow Andy over on Instagram, LS Inc. 2019, Facebook, LS Inc. Tattoo. Support the guy who supports us, right? He's over here hanging out with us every Sunday. It's like 2 a.m. over there or something.
Yeah, it's late. It's late. What is it? About 1:25 in the morning.
There you go. That's dedication, guys. Andy gets nothing for being here with us other than
just get to hang out.
Exactly. So support him, guys. I think that's all I got, Andy. I don't think I got any.
Yeah, I think that's, like I said, obviously we missed that. We missed last week, didn't we? Because you couldn't straighten your beard. So we're going to run that challenge for another week, and then we'll have another piece. Another piece for them next week.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Just please remember to send it to that different email address if you're doing the challenge piece. Make sure you send it to, is it tattoomesomething at gmail.com?
That's it. And if you just want to send any of your work, do it while we're live and send it to artmesomething at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And all that's in the description below.
Because if you do the challenge, that email address is there for the challenge so that we guarantee you a critique because you've done the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And like you've seen tonight, 2 of them have got lost. We were fortunate we got to them, but 2 of them have got lost in general. But it was quite nice to see another stitch pop up. So
yeah, that was cool.
It's just one of them things. If they haven't done any of them, as long as they do one of the challenge pieces that we've put up, and send it in, I suppose it don't really make any difference, does it?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. If it's a tattoo challenge piece, send it in, even if you want to do an older one, because I'm sure in a few months from now, there'll be a bunch of them. But you got to find them, though, because every new live stream, when we put a new one out, the link below is really only to that one piece. So if you want to do the other pieces, you have to go back into those videos and find the link in the description for those ones. Because I don't want to put them all down there because then I'll confuse people who are coming in later on. They're like, oh, we have all these pieces here. But anyhow, we're learning or adjusting fire as we go. So far, so good. I just want to thank everybody who sent a piece in, period. Yeah. And I apologize we're able to get to everybody. It's the nature of the beast, guys. And again, I'll be having another thing down the road, maybe the next month or so. It'll be kind of like a Patreon kind of a thing. It'll be like $5-10 a month. But it'll cut out a lot of the extra stuff. So if you're interested, there might only be for the first couple months 5 or 10 people over there. So if I critique your work over there, take our time, go a lot slower, get more thoughts, because there's less people. And if you're there, then you know what I mean? We already kind of know that you're probably a bit more devoted, what have you. So there's going to be different stuff we can do there. And so, yeah, just coming down the road here. I'm not in any rush. But we're working on putting something like that together if you guys are interested. So, all right. Okay, guys. Go follow Andy.
That's it. Yep.
All right.
Come on, find me.